Okay, so now we're gonna kind of try to wrap things up, and we're gonna wrap it up with some college football. All right, I gotta go over and do a little bit of a recap of what's going on, give you a recap of the top six, where we're at in the season, and also I want to talk about the Oklahoma upset. College football is crazy, and that's why I love it, man. Nobody thought Oklahoma. We'll get to that. We didn't think Oklahoma was going to lose, but we'll get to that later. And also, I want to talk about some Jim Harbaugh by the end of this podcast. So, when you look at the AP top six, you got LSU number one. Who said they were number one last year? Can you tell me that, Hassan? Or last week, sorry.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah,
I'm not bought in on them, but yeah,
we put that out there, right? Yeah, we put that out there. You could go back and look at the video. Go look at my channel videos, and guess who said they should be number one? They're at number one this week. They got a great win against a tough Auburn team. They gave them more of a run for their money than I thought. I thought LSU would show up a little bit more, but I'm not disappointed in how LSU showed up. I thought LSU did what they needed to do to win, and I thought Auburn. I was more impressed with Auburn's defense and how they showed up. And if Bo Nix was not a terrible quarterback, which he is, I don't want to hear anything from Auburn fans saying that he's a phenomenal quarterback. I think y'all will even say he's terrible. All right, I think that if they had a better quarterback, they could have won that game because Auburn's defense, they kind of gave the blueprint. We'll see how it plays out the rest of the year, but I think they might have given teams the blueprint on how to slow down LSU's offense because you can't hope to stop teams like LSU and Alabama, those type of offenses. I said it last year before the championship game with Clemson. You're not going to be able to stop these offenses. You can only hope to limit them in between the 20s. As long as you don't give up touchdowns, you'll be fine. I just got a message from somebody. They about to get blocked for that. You don't message me in the middle of a podcast, right? But Bama at number two. When you look at Bama, they played Arkansas with, obviously Tua Tagovailoa was hurt. Mac Jones showed you a little bit of his ability. He's no scrub, but I don't think we learned much against Arkansas. Arkansas is not that very good of a team. That's why Bama dropped from number one to number two. And we'll see how Tua Tagovailoa progresses with his injury during the bye week this week and throughout the week before LSU. But in 2 weeks, he needs to be ready because Mac Jones is not going to beat LSU. And that's just facts. I'm sorry. Y'all don't have enough talent around him, at least not on the defensive side of the ball. Or maybe not talent, but enough experience to beat LSU. LSU is a different breed this year. I'm not making a prediction yet. I'll make a prediction when when the game comes 2 weeks from now. But I'm just telling y'all, Bama fans, they're a different breed this year. They have a different type of offense. I definitely think that'll give you some trouble. You need Tua Tagovailoa because you're going to need to score with them. Ohio State at number three. Ohio State should be number two. I'm sorry. They should be ahead of Bama. What I saw against Wisconsin was just more of what I saw. It was more of the same. Dominance. Complete and utter dominance. Chase Young is the best player in college football, bar none. Dude had 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and just completely took over the game. I don't know why Wisconsin thought it was a good idea to not double him. Why wouldn't you double him? He's one of the best players, if not the best player, like I just said. Why wouldn't you double team him? They left him single blocked and they paid for it. And so that should just tell every team that faces Ohio State from this point, you can't leave him one-on-one ever. And so Ohio State just proved more to me that they are the number 2 team in the nation. I don't think they have the resume like LSU, so that's why I keep them notched down. But I definitely think they're one of the most dominant teams. And I definitely think, like I said before the season, they're going to make the playoffs. I still think they will. Nothing has showed me anything different. Clemson at number 4. We didn't move, but we lost some of our first place votes. So y'all can continue to doubt on us, on Clemson. Like, for all the new people, I am a Clemson fan. So, like, I definitely think that Clemson is definitely going to turn it. Like, they definitely turned the corner this year, or I mean this week. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, but we definitely turned the corner. We're definitely blowing people out, and y'all can continue to doubt on us. We love it. We're able to. Dabo is able to play that underdog card better than anyone. So when you put any doubt out on the internet about him, he's just able to use it as bulletin board material. So just please keep on doubting on Clemson. They're going to continue to win. Just telling you. I'm a spoil the story for y'all. They're making the playoffs, and they're going to win a playoff game. Just saying. Pins. You can say that. You can keep on making that noise. We're winning a playoff game. I'm spoiling the story. I'm sorry. I have to spoil the movie for y'all. That's what's going to happen. And y'all can come back to this video if it doesn't happen, and y'all can roast me for it. I don't care. I'm putting it out there. Penn State at number 5. They definitely showed me more. I got some comments from a Penn State fan actually on the last AP Top 6 recap, and she was saying how, I was, not giving Penn State enough credit for the schedule that they played and saying that I needed to see more. They definitely showed me some more. Not enough. To me, they got to beat Ohio State before I start to really buy into them as far as a playoff team. But they showed me more. They definitely showed me more against Michigan State. Michigan State has been the bane of their existence basically since 2016 when they really started to compete. And so I definitely think that the fact that they were able to go and get a win and do it in a pretty dominant fashion is definitely, it opened my eyes a little bit. Penn State is a little bit better than I kind of put on in that video. They're definitely one of the best teams in the country, and they're going to have an opportunity to show that against Minnesota and against Ohio State going into the latter part of the year. And then Florida at 6. Florida at 6 is kind of just a placeholder at this point. I definitely think that we're going to find out a lot about them this week against Georgia. It's a rivalry game against a big-time Georgia opponent. Don't let that South Carolina loss fool you. They're still a great team. Georgia is. And so I will make a prediction probably on Friday about it. But I think that Florida is definitely a talented team, but I'm not sure they're the number 6 team. But you couldn't really put anybody else up there. Maybe Oregon, but they were a spot behind them. But I'm fine with Florida being there. But I don't think that'll last long. I don't think that they have a chance to make the playoffs, at least with the way that they're playing right now. I mean, they're playing well, but I don't think they're playing well enough to beat the top-tier SEC teams. I think that LSU game showed you that. I don't think they can go in and beat an Alabama if they were to make the SEC championship game. And the people that fell out of the top 6, Oklahoma. Boy, y'all are done. Let me just tell y'all, Oklahoma fans, y'all are done. There's zero chance y'all make the playoffs now. Unless somebody gets 2 losses, you're done. All right, you can't lose to Kansas State. You cannot lose to teams that are inferior like that. Ohio State is a perfect example of this for the past 2 years. They were good enough to make the playoffs in 2017 and 2018, but they lost to Purdue and it got held against them. The committee's going to do the same thing to you. All right? I don't care if it was only a 1-score game. That is completely misleading. If you watch that game, it took some late game heroics from Jalen Hurts to bring y'all back in that game. Y'all were down 48-23. Y'all were getting absolutely dominated. And so I don't want to hear nothing about that. Y'all are done because you have nobody else on your schedule to boost your schedule. The Texas win. Texas is a 3-loss team now. That's not looking too bright. They lost to TCU. They're not looking too good. You also look at the fact that y'all play Baylor. Baylor's an undefeated team, but I don't think people are giving them the credit that will allow y'all to boost your schedule up. You had a terrible out-of-conference schedule. And so I just think that, hey, you're playing to play in the Cotton Bowl. And that's fine. That's still an amazing season. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, having a 1-loss team, there's nothing wrong with making the Cotton Bowl. That's a New Year's Six bowl. but you're not making it to the playoffs. You're not, because there's nobody that you could beat that will boost your schedule. If it comes down to, if LSU loses a close game against Alabama, and even if it isn't that close, if it's like a 10 or a 14-point game, I'm picking, and LSU doesn't lose the rest of the year, even if they don't win the conference championship, I'm still putting LSU in over y'all. Oregon lost a very close game, and they were leading the entire time against Auburn, and they lost in the opener. And if they go undefeated and go 12-1 and win their conference championship, they're in above you. Right? Because they reward people who play tough teams in the beginning of the year. And Auburn was a tough team to play at the beginning of the year, so they got that over you. Clemson is in over y'all because I don't think they're going to go, and lose a game, so they'll be undefeated. Bama, even if they lose against LSU, the same situation that I said for LSU is relevant for Bama. I think Bama will get in if they lose a close game to LSU. It doesn't matter if they don't win their conference championship. They're in over y'all. And also, I think, Ohio State, I don't see them losing. And even if they do, they've looked more dominant than Oklahoma has. I mean, y'all's defense put y'all back this past game. I don't know how else to put it. I thought y'all were improved. Y'all can go watch the video from last week. I said Oklahoma's defense. Did I not say they got a defense? Did I not say that they had an improved defense? And I was very impressed by them. Did I not say that?
True.
Yeah.
True, that is true.
And then what do they do the next week? I might have jinxed y'all because the next week, 48 points. And they looked like the same old Oklahoma defense from last year. So y'all are done. Sorry to tell you that, but it is what it is. All right? That's why you got to play a harder schedule in the out of conference. And if you don't play a hard schedule, you got to go undefeated. And you got to look impressive doing it. Because that's what Clemson has to do. If you're going to have that standard for Clemson, you have to have that same energy for Oklahoma. Have to have that same energy. And so, if you like this video, hit the like button down below. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And also, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload or a stream.